Welcome to a bonus video Sunday, and that's what I'm calling it because there's no real experiment here like I would normally do for my once a month Sunday videos. I just wanted to show this here. This is my dwarf Cavendish banana tree, and I know there's a few people who have been following along on my channel who have seen this before and might be interested in this, so this is for them mostly, and anyone else who might come along and find this interesting. So I've had this tree, or this banana plant I should say, it's not really a tree. I've had this for about, I think, a little over 2 years now. And I started this from just a small seedling that I bought. I think it was from Wellsprings Gardens, it might have been. And it was about maybe 2 inches tall or so, and it quickly grew. And I've had it growing in this pot here. I'll show you how big this pot is. This pot here, this is just for the overflow. And this is, obviously, this is the only pot that has a soil in it. So there's no roots outside of that pot. It's just what you're seeing here. And this is a very small pot. So we're looking at, I can't really measure it actually across fully, but it's about 11 or 12 inches in diameter. And this whole tree, you know, it doesn't look like it should be fit in this pot and doesn't look like it should be growing in this pot, but it is. There's not a lot of volume of dirt in here whatsoever. I mean, look at this. This is my hand. So that should give you some, some reference to the size of it. I mean, this is pretty much all root. Obviously, there's soil in there, and I water it once a week. I think it's with banana tree food, plant food. I think it might have been from Wellsprings Gardens also. It works pretty well. Obviously, there's a little pup here growing. That's been growing there for a while. But the tree itself, as far as if you're looking at this leaf here, that's probably almost the same size as me. It's about 5 feet 10 inches. Minus the pot height or whatever. But what I wanted to show here is something pretty interesting going on, and I've been waiting kind of for this moment. If you look at these leaves, so for one, look at the size of this leaf here. Okay, this is like the normal size of the leaves would be. It's pretty big, and these are probably, some of these are probably approaching like three feet long. So they're pretty large. There's one on the ground there that was, it naturally shed its leaves, so that fell down. I just cut it off. That's why that's down there, if you're asking. But up top here, now normally these leaves will keep coming out the top, and it grows pretty quickly. But if you take a look, I've been noticing that these leaves have been getting a little bit smaller. And this leaf here, obviously, it's hard to tell, but this is a little bit smaller than the other leaves. And they do get a little bit bigger as they get older, and then, they get lower on the plant as the new leaves grow above them, but not by much. This leaf here, check out the size of this compared to my hand. Obviously much smaller than the other leaf on the lower part of the plant that I just showed you. And here's this coming out here. And I can tell already by looking at this looks very different coming out here. This leaf here is gonna be much smaller than this one, a lot smaller, because I'm already seeing the stem part of it, which would be this part right here on this leaf. So this here is going to be a smaller leaf. Now, when you start to see on banana plants, when you start to see these smaller leaves and then, weirdly shaped leaves start to come out the top, that's how you know when it's going to start producing its flowers and producing its bananas. So we're getting very close to producing flowers. Now, one thing I'm not sure about with the banana plants, especially grown indoors, is how long it will actually take to grow the bananas. I've heard up to a year to actually produce the bananas, how long it takes to actually grow them. Outside is going to be different, but indoors here, it's hard to say. So this is kind of getting exciting. I just wanted to make kind of an update for this dwarf Cavendish banana tree, or banana plant, whatever you want to call it, because I know people who have kind of wondering about it, I guess. The light I've had up here, this is also what I wanted to talk about. I made a video where I actually this is a homemade pie tin grow light, that's what I'm calling it. And there's a lot of controversy with this light that I made. I wanted to do that. It works fine. It's kind of an experiment. And there's a lot of people saying, oh, you're gonna burn your house down with the way that I made that, blah, blah, blah. There's a disclaimer in that video that I made saying, do it at your own risk. I know what I'm doing because I have electrical experience. Everything is insulated. It's not a problem. And if my house burns down, that's my problem. It's not gonna happen though. This is an experiment as part of this banana plant goes. So this light here, I think it uses 38 or 40 watts total. It's not on a dimmer, it's just pulling straight power. And that's part of this experiment. I wanted to see if I can grow this banana plant under that little light that's homemade with a low amount of wattage and see if I could still produce bananas. Obviously the banana plant it's growing, and I knew it would grow because it doesn't really require a high amount of light to grow to begin with. But I want to see if this light here has enough power to actually produce bananas. Now I'm taking a risk here because obviously this has taken 2 years or more now to grow this plant. And I wanted to be able to grow my own bananas and taste them and see if they're better than store-bought stuff. And I'm taking a risk because maybe this might not be enough light to grow the bananas well. We'll see. That's kind of the whole point here. So I just wanted to make this little update for those who have followed along. I hope you found that helpful and interesting. And I will post another video if it starts producing bananas. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.